Google Slides is another product that you can use, and it's very similar to something like Microsoft PowerPoint. To create a Google Slides, you go to your Create button and you choose Presentation. It's asking me if I'd like to share this presentation with the same permissions as those selected in the folder, and I do. You may or may not receive this message, but if you do, know that you're creating that slideshow in a folder that has been shared with others. I'm going to click Create and Share, and the first thing that comes up are my choices of themes. One thing you'll notice is that there are many fewer themes to choose from when you're using Google Slides. You can also choose your slide size from widescreen to a standard. You'll choose this depending on where you intend to project your presentation. I'm going to choose a simple theme and click OK. You'll see that Google Slides gives me just the opening slide when it creates my presentation. Just like PowerPoint, you click in areas to add different things. The first thing I want to do when I've created a new presentation is to give it a name. To do that, I click in the upper left-hand corner where it says Untitled Presentation, and I rename my presentation. Then I click OK. Now for a quick tour of your menus. Just like in any other product, you have your File menu, Edit, View, Insert, Slide, Format, Arrange, Tools, Table, and Help. Let me go back to my File menu. From here I can share my presentation, create a new one, open something that's already been created, rename it, make a copy, move it to a folder, import slides from somewhere else, see my revision history, change my language, download it as a PowerPoint, PDF, etc., publish it to the web, email collaborators, email as an attachment, change my page setup, and look at my print settings and preview. In the Edit menu, I have my Undo and Redo buttons. I have Cut, Copy, Paste, Delete, and Duplicate. I have my Web Clipboard, options to select all, none, and find and replace. In my View menu, I can choose to present. I can show my animations. I can look at my master slide. I can zoom in or out. I can have things snap to grids or guides. I can look at the HTML. I can change whether it shows me spelling suggestions or not, whether my speaker notes show or not, and whether I want my controls to be compacted or if I want my presentation to be full screen. The Insert menu gives me the option of text boxes, placeholders, images, links, videos, word art, lines, shapes, a table, comments, a new slide or import slides. My Slide menu gives me New Slide, Duplicate Slide, Delete, Change Background, Apply Layout so I can change the layout of each slide, change my theme, change transition, edit my master, go to Next, Previous, First, or Last Slide. My Format menu, when I have text selected, will give me all of the same options as a word processor. We'll cover that again in a minute. Arrangement has to do with where things appear on the slide, whether they're in front or in back, where they're aligned, whether they're distributed, if I want them rotated, grouped, or ungrouped. I have tools such as spelling, research, and define, and I have more table options. Let's talk about our second row of controls. This plus button allows you to add a new slide, or you can add one by choosing the layout first. My Undo and Redo, my Paint format, zoom in or out, text box, image, shape, line, comment, change my background, my layout, my theme, or my transition. Now that we've had a quick tour, we're going to actually start to build a slideshow. I'm going to add a new slide with the plus button. It automatically defaults to a title and a text box. I'm going to change some information. And you'll see Now that I've started typing, that new tools have appeared. I can now change my fill color, change my line color, change the line weight and shape. I can change the font of my text, the size, bold, italics, underline, the text color, and whether it has highlighting. I can insert a link or a comment, and I can change my alignment and my line spacing. If I'd like to insert an image, I click on the image button. I can choose to upload an image, take a snapshot, use a URL, go through my albums or through my Google Drive. I'm going to upload an image. It's imported right over the text that I have. I can move my image. I can shrink my image. I can also crop my image by using this crop tool. When I move my image, you'll see that it's still in front of my text. If I want the image to appear behind my text, I make sure the image is selected. I come up here to Arrange, I go to Order, and I choose Send to Back. You'll now see that the image appears behind my text. If I'd like to rotate my image, I can do this in a number of ways. You'll see this little circle at the top of the image. You'll see a plus sign when you hover over it. If I click down and move my mouse button, I can now rotate my image freeform. I also can go to Arrange and Rotate and choose one of the preset options, including Flip horizontally or Flip vertically. If I'd like to insert a video on my slide, I go to Insert, Video, and I have two options. I can search YouTube using the Google search box, or I can add the URL of a YouTube video. I'm going to do a search for food, and then I'll see different options that I can insert into my slideshow. If I know the URL of the video, I simply insert it with the URL. I'm going to insert this Food Inc. official trailer by clicking once and clicking Select. That video now appears right on my Google slide. In most presentation softwares, you have the option to animate the things that are on your slide and to change your transitions. Google Presentations or Google Slides is no different. If I'd like to animate objects on my slide, I need to show my animation toolbar. So I go to View and Animations, and I'll now see that on the right-hand side. If I'd like to animate an object on my slide, I click on the object, then I'll see Add Animation. I click that, and I can choose what I'd like it to do. Your animations are limited in Google Slides. I'm going to choose Fly In. My choices are on click, after previous, or with previous. I'm going to choose on click, and I can choose how these objects fly in, if I have them fly in by paragraph, very similar to any other presentation software. I can then click on a second object, choose to add an animation to it, and now I can look to see what happens. I click, my title appears, I click, my text appears. I click Stop to return to the editing area. I can also change the transitions between my slides by clicking on the down arrow next to Slide and choosing how each slide appears on the screen. Again, I click Play to preview what that looks like. And stop when I'm done. I'm going to add another slide here. Another thing I can do is change the background of my slide by clicking on Background and choosing a new color. I can also choose to apply that change to all. I can choose a background image, and you'll now see the background image is a part of my slide. You'll see that it only applied the background image to the slide I was on. My other slides are still the same. I can go back to my background and change that to apply to all. When I click Done, I'll see that now each of my slides has the same background image. If I'd like to remove that background image, I click on Background and I change it to a color, and then click Apply to All and Done, and now my background image is blue. I can change the layout of my slides once again, and I can change the theme of my presentation to any of the preloaded themes. This comes in very handy when you've made so many changes to the background that you've completely lost the original and you don't like it anymore. Choose my new theme and click OK. And now my theme has been changed on all of my slides. Another helpful tip is that you can use the tools and the research to help you find images and videos. I'm going to choose an image search. I'm going to look for giraffes, and Google automatically brings up images from its image search. To use one of these images in my presentation, I click and drag the image right onto my presentation. It keeps the URL attached to the image so that I know where it came from. The same can be done with videos. So now I have an image and a video of my giraffe that I was able to just drag out of the research area. Another feature is when you hover over that video, you can preview it. That research toolbar also allows you to search your personal collection or the dictionary to find things that may be in your current files. If I'd like to add a table to my presentation, I simply click Table, Insert Table, and choose the size and shape. And then drag it into the appropriate area and begin to fill it in. I resize my table by clicking on the three dots on the top, bottom, or sides and dragging it to the shape and size I'd like it. Just like with Google Docs, you can share your presentation to collaborate with others. You add the email address of the person you'd like to share with. You choose whether they can edit, comment, or view. You can add a message if you choose, and click Send. Now the people you've invited can do whatever you've given them access to do in your Google presentation. You can also share by going to the File menu and Share. When you're all done with your presentation and you're ready to present it to an audience, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a Present button. When you click on it, it opens your screen to full screen, and you can click through your slides.